Hey, welcome back to the Glitchy Gh0st podcast. I'm Jay.
I'm Cody.
Hey, Cody. Missed a week again. I'm gonna
Yep.
blame you on this one.
I blame 4th of July. We were shooting fireworks at the sky.
That's true. 4th of July. Happy late Fourth, everyone. All our American people. Um, yeah, we took a little vacation. I mean, it's really not that much to really record, but you know, just to kind of enjoy our little fourth weekend, we kind of just skipped a week. But now we're back, and hopefully we can be consistent. Let's see how long we can do this for, because I'm sure we'll miss another week somehow, some way.
We'll come back though. We're like the
We'll
Hess
always come
truck,
back.
Hess
The
truck's
Hess
back.
trucks
Wait,
here. Can
wait,
we
didn't it
can we
stop
get
though?
copyright for it?
No, no,
We both have to.
I don't think they can. I don't think we can because I think they went out of business. I could have
No,
sworn.
I'm sure I've seen a Hess truck commercial last year. It
You
was for
sure it
the
wasn't?
yeah, it had like a YouTube logo and everything.
Oh my God,
No,
they
I'm
still
kidding.
make it. No, they still do make it.
Yeah, they do. No, Hess truck is still a thing.
I swear to God, I thought they went out of business for some reason.
No, what they had? What was last year's? Did you look that up?
I'm looking at this current year. It's a mini collection. But nah, my godmother used to get me them every year. She stopped getting me them one year because they didn't make it, I believe, that year.
Pretty sure they made it every year. She probably just said screw you.
Probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of people say that to you.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, okay. Anyway, VR. Great way to transition, right?
Yeah,
She's
just
like that.
forget my feelings.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
cool.
that's how much we care. Well, we're
They
gonna
care.
finally talk about VR this week, right? I mean, I think it's been long awaited. We've been dying to talk about it. It's one of our little hobbies that we like to get into, but
It's been on our list for a while now.
so long.
I'll say since like the first podcast, we touched on it a little bit, but never actually had a discussion about it.
No, and it's just like that's all I want to talk about sometimes. It's just that we just have so much things that was going on. I think Resident Evil. I think we started the podcast around Resident Evil Village, right? I think that was like kind of when that game came out,
Yeah.
and that took up a lot of our time. Um, but yeah, VR. We've been playing a lot of Demio, and I think we talked about Demio. I think last episode, didn't we?
We talked about a little bit, I believe.
Uh, I thought we kind of touched on it, but I'm not sure. I kind of gotta have to it's like I said, it's been what 2 weeks now. So, Demio dropped their new update. What was it called? The Rat King,
The Realm of the Rat King.
Realm of the Rat Kings. We played, I want to say about 3 hours of it, right?
All I know is when we put on the headset, it was daytime.
And then we took it off. What was it?
It was midnight.
It was midnight.
Somehow I had
Yeah,
my pajamas on. I was going to sleep.
that was it. No, yeah, we spent so much time on that DLC. And it's not even a DLC. It's more. It was an update. It was added content. I guess you could say it was DLC. But um, yeah. When I say this is a fantastic update for free content. I think this is up there.
You get a whole
Um,
new chapter.
yeah, and hard too.
Oh,
Did
extremely
not
hard. I
hold
mean,
back.
I know. Granted, I read the comments on their Discord and all that people were complaining that the first one was easy, and now people are complaining like we get it. You took our advice, but this one's too hard. So
I
yeah.
I think I think it's just because it's just us two.
No, people are saying it's way too hard even for teams of four.
I want to play Team before just see what how different it feels or how if it feel even if we play on the first chapter if it feels easier. I do want to see what it feels like with a 4-man group. But yeah, this is a harder story and setup. They added new cards, new enemies, and new gameplay mechanics, which was actually pretty cool. One of them is the lighting, where you know how we walk around and the dungeon's already dark around us, but when you walk in, your line of sight, you can see your line of sight. Lights up the room. But in this update, you're in, I guess, what is it, a sewer or whatever, and
Yeah,
it's
you're in the
dark.
sewers.
It's dark, so you can barely see in front of you, even if you walk into a room. So you need to have a special card um,
Yeah,
to see the rest of the room, right? So
which
that adds. a whole
And
new game, like
it's pretty cool because you can place it down wherever you want, or actually hold it on your character in a sense.
I didn't know you could play. You could place it.
Yeah, you can place it down. I made that mistake the first time we went did our first run.
I was
And
not
then the
paying attention to
second
that.
time is when I was like, "Oh, you can put it on top of yourself," because I accidentally held the card over my head and let
Hmm.
go.
That's actually pretty. I didn't know you could place it, but yeah, no, that's it. Right, that's what adds that whole element. It holds up a card space, but then it also to think of where you're gonna put it, right? Because enemies are constantly coming to you. You have to know what's coming your way. And the thing is, you can't attack in the darkness if you're not ranged, right? Because I know you as a ranged person, you use is what is he? A sorcerer,
So
wizard? What is
yeah, sorcerer.
sorcerer? You could
He's a
shoot in the
wizard,
dark.
Harry.
He's a wizard. You can shoot in the dark, right?
Yeah, I basically trace the area, and if it comes up as there's an enemy, I'll just release and hit.
Right, but as a warrior, I can't just swing in the dark. I
Yeah,
don't
and
have that
you
option.
can't do your charge either, can you?
I don't think so. Yeah. You can, but it doesn't let you place it. Excuse me. It doesn't let you place it that type of way. Like you can only place it but as far as you can see. So if you can only see 2 blocks ahead of you, you're gonna charge what 2 blocks? Not really gonna do anything for me.
Ah, eh,
The enemies, I think, yeah, they ramp these enemies up, man.
they made
They
him smarter.
Yeah, the AI is crazy in this game. It almost feels like you're going against like an actual dungeon master that kind of just knows how to mess with you.
And it's such an a-hole dungeon master.
Yeah, I heard there's an update where they actually show a dungeon master. I have to look that up. Like, there's like they have an avatar with you now. We gotta play because we haven't played in a while. But
Oh wow!
uh,
Now I also see in their patch notes you can now
mhm.
place a torch on an allied hero, so I can put a torch on you rather than
Oh, that's
only on
cool.
myself.
That's cool. I can't wait to. I want them to add the ability to fill in slots with AI, right? Like if it's just us two, I want it to be like can AI be the other 2 slots, or this is just me talking, right? Let us play 2 characters piece.
I think that would be the better option.
Either or is fine with me. I don't care. I can see them doing that. The thing about Demio, right? Um, they opened the door in VR for board games, because I think there was already board games in VR, but this is the standard. Almost kind of like how Half-Life Alyx was the standard for first-person shooters on VR. Demio is now the standard for board games. Like I want to now see more interactive board games like Demio. Like imagine something as simplistic as like Monopoly, right? Being able to move your pieces around the board, but kind of having them animated and having like let's say you go to jail and like a jail cell kind of like wraps around your character,
Yeah, well,
something like that.
you haven't played the video game Monopoly yet, have you?
I have, but it's not. There's a
With the
difference between
dynamic map.
that, but the difference between having it on a flat screen versus being able to interact with your hands and kind of just being like, you know what I'm talking about, that whole VR sense, right? Like you're able to be there, sit there at the table, and then the whole thing of like you can see my character, like my not the character that I'm playing, but my avatar that's moving my character around, right? So it looks like you're sitting next to me. I like that aspect.
I'm gonna just say, like, people like you are the reason why eventually we're definitely gonna have a Jumanji, a real life Jumanji.
Let's have it. I'm ready for it.
No, I'm not ready for it. Streets filled with a bunch of animals, monkeys turning into monkeys. No, I'm not ready for that.
I mean, I always wanted to play Jumanji. I watched the whole movie. I don't care. Jumanji was awesome.
It was
As long as you
awesome,
finish the game. Finish
but
the game.
would you want to live that life?
Yes. Yes.
No, I heard you drinking something. Is that water? Is it alcohol?
I got a little thirsty. I was like, damn. I was like, I don't want that to come through the
But it could explain some stuff.
You trying to say I'm drunk right now?
I mean, you did say you want a real life Jumanji.
I thought that was, come on, that wasn't cool that like the little thing in the middle like said things, it changed. I thought that
I
was
mean,
so
it was a
dope.
magic 8 ball basically, but
It was, it was so cool. And I thought the little pieces were cool. Whatever. I'm weird like that. There's like little things impress me.
I actually have a board game, Jumanji. It's pretty fun. Not, realistic like that one, thank God, but it's fun. But if Demio made Jumanji, I'll see that being awesome.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Cause then, yeah, that actually would be dope. Like you sitting around and then you have to do things like in the VR world, like around the room. That would actually be kind of cool. Like mini games, basically.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
doable. That's actually a fantastic idea.
they just need to get in touch with like I don't know, cause yeah, I can say like Mario Party and Kingdom Hearts, because Kingdom Hearts had the board game one.
I mean, another game. I mean, we play this uh in the real world. I don't know. I just did quotes, and nobody will see that.
They'll visualize.
All right, so I quoted real world. I can't even say it no more. Zombicide. Zombicide. I don't know if anybody knows about Zombicide that's listening, but if you don't know about it, look it up. It's a really dope board game, and I need that to be a VR adaptation board game. Something, and I would love the team of Demio to work on that
I
because
think we did mention that, and then we talked about tabletop.
I'm not sure if we have, but that actually would be a nice episode talking about tabletop gaming because we definitely do a good portion of tabletop gaming.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
I think we got a little sidetracked. We
we
definitely went
did,
off course with
did
Demio.
because we got to got to Jumanji. I don't even know how we got there, but yeah. Outside of that, I mean, I don't. We haven't gotten to the end, so I haven't seen the Rat King yet. I know
You-
people have posted that they beat
I have yet to
that
see him, and I,
campaign.
I follow their stuff, but I'm also afraid because they added new stuff recently,
Yeah, the
right?
two new enemies, right? And I was
Yeah, the
telling you
bandit
about
and the
that.
thug that can steal your gold.
Right. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like being robbed.
I
What was
don't
the
know
other?
how. Huh?
He can steal your one can steal your cards, the other one can steal your
Your gold.
money. Yeah.
I think they both can do that. I think they both can steal your gold, but one can steal your cards. I think the thug steals your cards.
I'm curious to see if you know how like when we fought the last boss,
All those enemies
where
that
it was
kept spawning.
spawning. I wonder if they can spawn a whole bunch of ones that steal your cards and you just straight up have no cards.
Well, they're right now. As of right now, they're just the two enemies. But now that you mention that, you think now that you say that, the Rat King can probably summon those rats that can summon the rat nest.
That's true. And the rat nests are pretty. They're they're a big headache because it's either you destroy it, and if you don't, then they'll just start spawning constantly, right? But then the thing is like if you destroy it, you have to get to it at a certain time. But there's always going to be obstacles in front of you, like enemies and stuff like that. I feel like that last boss setup is going to be constantly like that, having to run around the board and destroying rats' nests.
Yeah, but thankfully it's not the spider's nest because when you destroy that, the spider spawn regardless.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and that's why you tell me to avoid them, cause like if you, cause they don't have a time of when they
Yeah.
spawn.
Nah, they only spawn when you destroy them, but sometimes they're always like conveniently placed by one of those lamps, the fire lamps that once those explode, they're taking that with it and spawning the spiders regardless.
That's true. That's very true. What would you want to see, or what would you want to improve on Demio? Like, what is something that you feel like you want more of, or something that, or just an improvement? I guess we could say that first.
I would like to be able to like I understand like the character level will reset every time. I don't mind that, but at least have it more than 3 levels. If be able to pick how many levels before the last boss, like whether you want like 2 maps, 3 maps,
Oh, you
then
know
that
what? I agree with that. Like an endurance mode.
yeah, and with that, have it to where I can kind of when I get to the store level up certain stats rather than just buying these cars. Like have me able to, all right, spend like 500 gold to get an extra action, like 200 for an extra melee attack point,
I
and
wonder if
that
that would
stays with
break the
me until the
game.
end. mean, why would it break the game though?
I don't know. Like I think the simplistic part of like having the cards and just having your set attacks. I mean, granted, I would love to be able to change attacks. Like instead of I like what you're saying there, but instead of how like you have a constant card that reloads
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
to
Change. I would
have
like that also.
an option of what card, right? To have a different option, like how like the soldier can have a shield. What if he had something where it just boosts his attack by like double, like it doubles his attack for like one round? That'd be cool to like have or something. Just kind of like I can see them playing around with that. Even if it wasn't in the original Demio, if like they did like a Demio 2 or something like that. Um, they have a lot to play with, honestly. I think, and in reality, I don't know how much I would really fix in the game. I feel like it's a really perfect game. Like I said, the only thing that I would really want is what I mentioned before was being able to add AI to multiplayer or being able to move multiple people at once instead of playing as one person.
Yeah, the game is fine. All they have now is just to add more content whenever they want, and people will be happy regardless.
For how much we pay? I think it was $30.
Oh, 30, yeah, 29.99.
I think for what it gave us, I think that was already a good amount of content because there's replayability there, right? And
At
then
randomized boards.
right, and then leveling up doesn't really give you much. I really wish leveling up gave you a little bit more reward. I mean, it gives you cosmetics, which is cool, but kind of wish it just did it maybe just a little bit more. But that's just me griping. That's nitpicking at something that I feel like that's already good. You know?
Yeah, but I do agree. I think that would probably be one thing that I would change. So, like the attacks, like being able to switch them. Like, all right, you pick the sorcerer, but he has different like attacks that you can choose from, like different abilities
I wouldn't
for like
mind
each
seeing
one.
a game like Demio, but in a first person action. Um, kind of like a dungeon crawling VR game that's like that. Because I don't think we have that yet. Oh, it
We
may
have
be out
one
there
that's
already.
similar. That game that I was playing, from the Oculus Rift. What was it called? That is the question.
Was that the one where it was like Poseidon? No, that was.
Yeah, the problem is I fumbled with the settings after I stopped streaming for you to watch it,
Hmm.
and I just had all the video settings crappy. That's why it was running so crappy. Plus, I wasn't I didn't fully set up the Oculus Link.
Got you.
I was still using virtual desktop at the time. But what was it called? I can't even see
I
the
have
game.
no. It was that
Oh,
Asgard.
yeah, Asgard's Wrath.
Asgard's Wrath.
I mean, the amount of content that game has, I mean, it's 133 gigs. Pretty big download.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. I guess I can consider Demio part of that whole AAA game.
Oh, they're
Uh,
definitely getting there.
I don't want to call it because I don't think they're an indie game. I don't think there's anything indie about it. I think it had a whole full studio behind it, and
Resolution games, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I honestly it's up there. Outside of that, like what other AAA game that you feel like you were behind on VR that you stuck with or that you've enjoyed?
I don't know. I haven't really played that many AAA games in VR.
It's not like you said Chipotle games.
No, AAA. You're obviously hungry.
I am. Uh, yeah, we have actually. Arizona Sunshine was one of them, and
That's
you
a
played that
AAA.
co-op with me. Yeah, that would be more considered AAA. I mean, because it's all right. So something that I would feel like it's not AAA is basically like I don't know, like those little games where all you're doing is like shooting or those little mini game, just something that's not up there. Like so you have like Half-Life, Boneworks, Sniper Elite. I feel like Arizona Sunshine is up there. Walking
Would you
Dead
go?
is up
Would you
there.
say Robo Recall was up there?
I want yeah, I would say Europa Recall is a AAA game because honestly that was up there. That was and actually I don't know.
I mean, it had a full story.
It it did have a full story. I gotta give it to you that one. Yeah, I'll give it that. I mean, listen, if somebody disagrees, please let us know because like I kind of feel like Robo Recall is AAA, but it's just like I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about that. I mean, it was an arcade shooter at the end of the day, but whatever. I mean, so is House of Dead. Would you consider House of Dead a AAA game? I don't think so.
I mean, I kind of would, because
You haven't.
it had an impact. It had a strong. I would say a AAA game is more so. They've had a few games that they made. It made a huge impact. It went, from arcade to actual systems, and
Hmm.
it did have a good studio behind them. So I would say that would be a AAA. It doesn't necessarily have to be full blown story. It can be an arcade game just if it has a powerful studio and a good revenue behind it. I would call it a AAA.
I think. Did you read the definition of a AAA game? Because you literally just said that.
But I read that's what a AAA game
Like,
definition
yeah,
is.
yeah. I was reading it. It was basically it says, AAA games are video games most distinguished by their massive development and marketing budgets.
I did not,
You
but
pulled
hold
that out
on.
your ass too
I
damn
did.
good, yeah. Yeah. I don't know how
Look
much of
out,
a
Webster's
budget.
dictionary. Here I come.
I don't know how much Robo Recall had as far as the budget wise, but I mean, I think it was up there. It came with the Quest One as a launch. Was it a launch title? All right, failing. Our recording failed again. So, um, yeah, we're gonna fix that soon. But yeah, I don't think Robo Recall dropped on the
Launch
Quest. I don't
day.
know. I don't think it was a launch, but it definitely came. It came as a bundle. So if you bought
Oh,
the Quest, you would get it for free. But that was a limited time.
yeah, I believe it came when it came out. It didn't drop directly on the Quest. It was a Rift, but you
No, it
got it
was
for
Rift.
buying the
You're
Quest.
right. No, 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 no. Okay, yeah. Okay, no, no, no. I got it. I got it because I bought a Rift. So if you bought a Rift, you got Robo Recall for free. Then when the Quest came out, Robo Recall was part of that uh, cross buy because only a few games are cross buy. Not all games are, right?
Yeah.
When I bought the Quest, I bought it during the time when they were giving away the Star Wars trilogy. So I got that for free, but that was a limited time also. Um, that I don't, and the thing is, I don't even know. I guess you would call that that VR Star Wars trilogy a AAA title too. You didn't play that, but so
No.
you played. So let's backtrack where we're at. So you played Arizona Sunshine. That had a
I,
full story behind it and
Yeah,
everything.
after
So
giving the definition of AAA, I realized I played a lot of VR AAA titles.
I think yeah, I would say you did. So out of that group, like what do you feel like is your you know your favorite so far?
I really enjoyed Arizona Sunshine. I enjoyed Robo Recall. Um, that's not a AAA title. I was gonna say Orbius, but it's not AAA. I really don't
Mm-mm.
feel like it is. Um, what is that? Would you consider Drop Dead a AAA title? I don't think so.
Nah, no, definitely not. It's one of those like I said, it's one of those arcadey little games that definitely not.
Beat Saber. I really
Beat
enjoyed Beat
Saber,
Saber. That
Beat
is
Saber's up there.
100% AAA.
Yeah. It's just like yeah, that was. I feel like when everybody talks about VR, the first thing they talk about is Beat Saber, and it's a good way to um transition somebody into VR, just kind of like just not in transition, but introduce them into it because it's such a simplistic game to just kind of just like you could throw some V Saber on to somebody that's never played VR, and within 5 minutes they kind of get the concept of the game. Because I've had people struggle obviously in the first couple minutes, but after a while, like I'll say within 5 minutes, they're pretty good.
I mean, I'm no good in that. I mean, you're way better in that. I don't know how.
Practice,
Your
practice.
hand-eye coordination is just terrible.
Hey, whatever.
I mean, it is. Well, I mean, I don't. It's a good game still.
It's a pretty good game. You didn't play it, but I played it. Half-Life, Half-Life Alex.
Yeah, no, it's like you're sponsored by them though.
You have to play it.
I'm
Honestly,
afraid
if
to
you
get it.
have VR and you have not played Half-Life Alex, and because you're like, because you're one of those people that say I've never played Half-Life or I don't want to play it because all the hype. No, no, no. I'm not here to tell you it's dope, but it's dope, right? It's. I'm gonna say it is the standard for a shooter. and you don't need to know the Half-Life story. It's good to know it, but you don't need to know it. And if you don't feel like playing Half-Life story, go on YouTube, go watch a quick video. Probably take you 30 minutes to watch a video of somebody explaining the whole Half-Life story, and then jump on a Half-Life Alex. Uh, that game, it still lives with me to this day. I only did one playthrough of it. I've been craving to do a second game, a playthrough of it. And now that there's mod support, there's so much more content built with that game, bro. Like, I don't know. I can talk about it forever. It's gotten me. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. That's weird to say, but like you haven't
You okay over
experienced it
there?
yet. Yeah, I know. I'm getting in my feelings. When I say Cody, you have not experienced high quality. Like when I say AAA title, that's a AAA title right there.
I've experienced Minecraft in VR.
Minecraft and VR was cool, but nothing compares to that experience of you just going in. Honestly, at this point, I might as well just let you just come over and just play it.
This man.
It's to that point where you need to. It's because you could tell that they put so much effort into just the quality of like what like. I don't know what game was it that we were playing recently. I think it was Generation Zero, right? How you can just like turn on and off a light switch, or you can just like move stuff around, right? Being able to do all that little stuff, the little interactions. Half-Life Alex did that, and they did that to a T, right? And because now you have like your hands to work around with the move controllers, um, it definitely adds something to it.
Wait, you were using your hands in that rather than the
No, I'm
controllers?
using the controllers, but I'm saying you're in the game is you obviously have hands, right? So like, but I know for the Valve Index you can move each finger, but for the Quest it's just gripping it. It's just opening closing your hand. There's more of an immerse factor for the Valve Index because it has that sensor of being able to, put up the middle finger or just point or whatever. But
Why is that the first thing you go to? Is just flipping somebody the bird?
I don't think that's just me because I feel like everybody who's played with the Valve Index, right? No matter what, I've seen them like the first thing they do when they see hand tracking, they're flipping you the finger. I don't know why.
I wave.
If you can move each finger, well, you could wave right now with the Quest, but if you can move each finger, Cody, what are you doing?
I'm doing that little like that creepy hand thing where I pull each finger slowly, like starting with the pinky, like it's open and I pinky, ring finger, middle
So
finger.
you're testing it out. You're testing out the
Yeah,
how well it's 1-to-1 with your
yeah. And if
hand.
anything, I'm gonna point and do like the finger guns.
Oh, okay. You could do that in Oculus Quest also.
But I mean, with the moving each finger into the finger guns.
Yeah. Nah, I've been dying to test. I want that so bad. I just can't justify spending $1,000 on a VR setup when you have the Quest. Like I know it's a night and day difference, right? And if we look at VR ranges, right, of whether you go for the cheap option, which when I say cheap, I'm talking about Quest starting at 300, and that's considered cheap, right, for VR. And then you go for premium, where it can go up to over $1,000, because I think there's a $5,000 headset or $3,000 headset. If I'm not mistaken. It's a 4K headset. I don't know. It's a crazy expensive headset, but it still uses the light boxes from HTC, and then you can use the controllers from HTC, or you can use the Valve Index controllers, right? When you're in that high end VR, they say the quality is like stupid compared to what you see on the Quest, because like the Quest is like a 90-degree field of view. So like what we see is a small field of view, and then the more expensive you can see kind of on the corner of your eye, you can still see the game, which is cool, right? And I can see that being like a dope concept for certain games. But being I would say a casual VR gamer, because I don't think I'm not hardcore. I think the Quest is good enough.
Yeah, I don't see myself going like deeper into it yet.
Mhm.
Maybe you know when they come out with more titles that piques my interest. But as of right now, no.
Well, I think the way Oculus is going, they're just making it so much harder to want to get into that premium not PS, PCVR realm, with the whole Oculus link, Air Link, and all that stuff. It's just it's too simplistic to just be able to just jump on a headset wirelessly and connect to your PC and play VR games. It's not perfect yet, and you still need like a really decent internet connection and a great router to kind of run that. But yeah, and the investment of wanting to go back to a wired VR headset, I don't think I want it.
I mean, wireless is the new way of life.
HTC has a wireless setup. It's just expensive. I think it's like 100 or 200 just for the connector piece
Yeah, but I mean, why would I want to spend that much?
for the video quality. It's if you think about it, it's like you're investing in a monitor, right? You're going for, a 1080p monitor. It looks good, right? And it's a smaller monitor. Or you can go for kind of like this widescreen 4K monitor. It's like, why do I need it? Don't really need it, but it looks nicer, you know?
I mean, looks can be deceiving.
Looks can be deceiving. I mean, not with VR. Not with VR. But
I think I'm
outside of
fine.
that, huh?
I think I'm fine with what I got for right now.
I mean, so what do you feel about PlayStation's VRs? Like, I know I've had it, and me and you played it a bit. Like, what did you feel about that?
I think they know what they can do. They can do a lot more with it because it was pretty cool. When we each were trying on the headset, and then the people that didn't have the headset on were able to still interact with the person that was playing it, like with the certain games that we were playing. I enjoyed the PS VR a lot actually. If I had a chance, I'll probably get it.
So Sony had their state of play with, they before they even did the state of play, they mentioned there was no PSVR 2 news, and we know PSVR 2 is coming out because the PlayStation 5 came out, and we know that they've been patenting a lot of different controller setups, and headset technology. We know it's going to most likely be wired. Um, but the controllers are not going to be like those little wands with the balls at the top for tracking. So the question is, like, what is it going to be? Is it going to look like an Oculus controller? Is it going to look like a Vive controller? We don't know yet, or an Index controller at that. Uh, PlayStation has a lot of, I want to say, has a big imprint right now into the VR play space now because of all the IPs that they have for exclusives. So it's kind of like, how like Microsoft's kind of winning in exclusives with PlayStation right now.
I mean, they got to.
PlayStation is taking all these VR exclusives and they're holding them for hostage. And the reality is, like, I don't know what the percentages are of PSVR users versus just VR users outside of like Oculus standalone and PCVR, but I have a love hate for that because there's so many games. There's a good portion of VR games that I would love to come to PC or Quest, but are not going to because of that exclusivity.
I mean, PlayStation VR. They have a lot actually.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent list of games.
Well, I mean, their users, they have over like 3 million as of 2018, and then they sold another 4.2 million as of March 2019.
At that time, it was an easier way of getting into VR because there was no standalones. There was no Oculus Quest at the time when they launched PSVR. Because that was fighting against PCVR. Honestly, if I didn't get into PCVR, if I didn't have the graphics card to kind of like be able to handle it, probably would have went that route. I probably would have been a
PlayStation.
PlayStation VR fan, boy, definitely. Um, I got rid of it just because when I got rid of the PS4, but I just, I don't know. I think I was just too spoiled by PCVR and just the one. There's also there's a decent library of PCVR games. I mean, even if you look on Steam VR, has some very interesting, weird titles, but then you have, you know, yeah, you know what I mean. Uh, but then there's also, you know, like those good titles like Arizona Sunshine, uh, Drop, is it Drop Dead? What is it? The zombie game.
Wow. Dead shot. Dead
Dead
drop.
Dead Drop, yeah. Oh,
Drop dead.
it's one of those drops.
Oh,
No.
it's drop dead. It's drop dead. Dual strike edition.
The Rick and Morty game I felt was dope. That was that had a whole bunch of like mini games. You didn't play that yet. They definitely they had a budget behind that. I thought that was really good. If you're a Rick and Morty fan, I would say check out that. I don't know about that Trove game. I forgot what it's. Is it Trove or Trevor? Trevor? Is it Trevor or Trove? Whatever. It was made by the creators of Rick and Morty as well. That was a platformer though. It was a VR
Trover
platformer.
Save the Universe.
Mhm.
Free DLC.
That's if you're into the whole platforming VR realm, then I would say go for that. I'm not big into it. I played it before. I played platformer VRs like the Astrobot on the PlayStation, and then what was the other? There was one for the Oculus. I can't remember. It was like a fox or a kitten. Escaping me. I played a bit of that, and it was cool. I don't know if you played any platformers.
No. I haven't. And I think Rick and Morty should come out with that virtual reality of like a whole nother life.
It's in the virtual reality game.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I gotta get this.
it is. It's not. Yeah, you just gotta play it. You gotta play it. I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's in there. You literally put on a VR headset in VR, and then you go through the life. And there's so many different outcomes, which is freaking hilarious.
I'm reading the
So
description right now. I like descriptions like this where it kind of makes you think, did I just read something that insulted me?
if it's Rick and Morty, then most likely it did.
There's real fake doors.
It's true. It is true. Um, a lot of issues that people have with VR though is not just the not being able, well, being able to afford it. One, having a PC set up if they want to do PCVR, right? Being able to find any, right? Because there was a moment in time where it was hard to find headsets. Everybody and their mother wanted to play VR, and it was hard to find. So one of the big factors of that is play space. So I know for you, you learned that the hard way.
Oh yeah, the hardware. I spent $4 to have to spend what 500, 600 the next day.
Yeah, yeah. What happened?
So we bought this wonderful game, Climby. It
Climbing's
was
fun.
really it was real fun. It's a wonderful game. I wasn't being sarcastic.
Climbing's great.
I just had an attitude behind it because it's like it made me God of War climb, pull down my TV, and somehow it landed on top of my Xbox, which was under it behind it. It made a magical experience, I'll tell you that. And it made me realize, hey, actually, I spent way more than 600 now. I think that same week I went and bought a different bed that I can easily move to have more play space. So play space is definitely necessary. But yeah, I pulled down the TV, broke it. Y'all thought it was cartoon sounds. Thought it was the funniest thing in the world. Heard a bunch of curses, and then next thing you know, all you hear is, "I'll talk to y'all tomorrow." And I sat there with the VR headset on, top of my head. Uh, the controller still attached to my arms with the straps, but they were hanging. And oh Lord, I fucked up.
Yeah. So how much area play space do you have roughly?
I'll have a decent amount now. I'll say, looking at it, like a 6 by 10 of play space, like area to move around.
Okay. Yeah.
Before, I did not.
And that's the hard part. Is like, what do you like? I think I don't know what the minimum I would say you would want play space, but I know this is one of the YouTubers I watch. He actually, and he's up there with the VR YouTubers. Play space is small as it's dirt. You know, like it's a small play space. He's proven that you could have a really small play space but still be able to play VR. There are plenty of games that allow you to see it. There are plenty of games that let you just be like just stand still and not have to move around. Granted, a lot of these games are better, you know, to be able to just kind of just move your body a bit, and that's why I like the Quest because the Quest is not tethered to anything. But I think I have about 6 or 7 foot by 6 or 7 foot. Like it's almost a perfect square of what I play in, and that's plenty enough room to like play something. Like I remember playing in smaller,
Yeah, it says the minimum play space is a 6 by 5,
and I feel like you could play less than that.
which I don't understand why it isn't a perfect square. It should be 6 by 6, not six by 5.
6 by 5. They try to squeeze the smallest amount they could, but why not a 5 by 5, right? I don't know. I guess it
I
depends on your arm span, right?
I felt like the max you should ever need will be a 10 by 10, and that's for playing like those army games. Because sometimes you want to be a fool and you want to get down low, you want to actually like move around more.
That's what
And
I love about those games. I mean, when we played Onward and it was Onward,
contractors and
Contractors. What's
no,
the
we
third
didn't
one?
play the other one. Was it that the Steam one or the?
Hmm, it's gonna kill me because I don't know what it's called.
I'm looking it up now. Pavlov.
Pavlov. Yep, Pavlov was the Call of Duty of VR. Onward was more. What was that game? SOCOM. I would say that's more like SOCOM, right?
Yeah, I say the 10 by 10. For army games also in case you also pass out.
Yeah,
Give
because
yourself some room to fall.
no, those games are awesome, and they have awesome community as well. I think that's another thing about VR is that a lot of the communities I've seen behind any VR game, you do have your 1 or 2 toxic people, but majority of the people that I've come across, even playing these shooters, because Pavlov and Onward, they all have their online lobbies, and most likely it has open mic, like you can kind of just talk freely. Most of my teammates have been cool.
I
But
remember us playing gun game. And that
yep,
was fun. The
yeah,
people in there were hilarious.
yeah. You're doing a free for all. Nobody's like saying anything negative. Everybody was just jokingly like having fun, and I think that's what I love about those communities. Like, shouts out to the Pavlov community. Shouts out to Onward community. Like those people have been nothing but like awesome. Like I said, I
Well,
haven't come across anybody negative.
not even just those. Remember we played the dash dash kart racing game, and we
That
only had
was awesome
one
too.
weird guy that he didn't say anything, but he was in like the Chucky outfit. But the other guy that we were playing with, he was like, "Yo, what's with Chucky over there? He's not saying anything. He's just staring." He was like,
Yeah.
if we weren't in VR, I'd probably be worried.
Nah, yeah, they're cool. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's an open lobby and you could just openly talk, I have yet to have anybody like really say anything disrespectful. Kind of like if you go to like Call of Duty. The only reason why I'm more was pushing towards the shooters because there's always such a toxic background with online shooters like Call of Duty, Battlefield, and all that. You always kind of get that little toxicity with the player base, but not in VR, and it's kind of weird to see that.
I
Um,
mean, it's a lot nicer not knowing how many people my mom slept with.
it's like I was for a second I was like, what? I got, I definitely, yeah, I'm a little slow with that,
Yeah,
but
VR is a lot nicer community. Even when we played well, we actually never mind. That was toxic in a sense. The rec room.
VRChat. Oh,
Yeah,
Rec Room,
yeah,
Rec
both.
those
Yeah.
two. No, no, okay, all right. I'll say this. I'll say this about. Let's talk about Rec Room first. Rec Room, yes, Rec Room sucks. Not the game, but the community sucks. Just because, not to bag on little kids, but there are a lot of young people on that, and they're just being young, dumb, and just saying reckless things. Uh, that I don't see myself playing with multiple people. I bring a specific group into Rec Room and play that. Rec Room is really fun though. I can play that all night because there's just so many different. Like when we played paintball that whole night, I was just like in love with that. That was so much fun just to play paintball. VR chat though. Okay, VR chat is a whole different world, and I gotta say, Cody, I think we need to get back on VR chat, and we
I
gotta give it
learned
another chance.
I learned a lot in VRChat. I'll tell you that much.
I
Things
didn't
I didn't
realize
oh,
what.
what no things I didn't know I needed to learn, but I learned a lot.
Are you talking about we sat down and that guy drew on the board?
Yup, and he told me a lot about random stuff.
Right. You get the thing is with VR chat there's so many different experiences you can have. You can have negative experiences. Definitely can have negative. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. There are some weirdos, right? But there are also some really cool people too. But what I didn't know was that it's kind of like when we played Tower Unite. It does have a lot of mini games, and I know we did play a few mini games, but we didn't, Cody. We didn't scratch the surface.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, and I don't know
It's
why
sort of
we
like
have not been on it.
it's sort of like Team Fortress, when you pick those random lobbies, like how they have Smash Brothers, Mirror's Edge, and different things like that. That's what they
Hmm.
have in VR chat.
Yeah, and we need to jump on that more. I think, and I don't know why we don't. I don't know. Whatever. That's something. That's for another day to come. Talk about. Sorry, I yawned. Oh gosh. Um. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else. I mean, we can get into the whole fitness of gaming too. The fitness gaming, I feel like it's just one of those things that I've used too. Like I'm not gonna lie and say that I wasn't part of that whole fitness group of people wanting to use video games to get into fitness. I've watched so many videos of people doing it, actually losing weight and all that stuff. Fitness and gaming, I feel like is a gimmick. I'm just gonna call it out now. It's definitely a gimmick, but there are some games that do help out with fitness. It shouldn't be your sole thing to do for working out, but VR has definitely taken in a good portion of fitness games. Uh, and now Oculus implemented, I don't know if you noticed that, but Oculus implemented that little,
The fitness thing.
the fitness tracker. Yeah,
They have their own fitness actual exercise and stuff now.
right. So, and they implemented that during COVID because people were just working out at home. So, I, I don't want to say it doesn't work because it's all about how much time you put into it. But I played O Shape, or is it On Shape? I forgot what it's called. That that gave me a sweat. You know what I'm saying? That was a good sweat. Beat Saber gives you a good sweat. I've seen people try to use Beat Saber as a workout. It definitely is a good workout game, but it's definitely limited to because all you're doing is really moving your arms.
Yeah,
And
it's
then it's
for I'll say it's
also
for people with flabby arms.
yeah, I mean or whatever, or just that are heavy that just can't really do much maneuvering. It's just like as long as you're doing some type of movement, right? But it's also about how aggressive you are with that movement. Cause like with Beat Saber, you could barely move your arms. You can move your hands and be good, right? Or you can be aggressive and just like flail your arms around and kind of just really work into it. Uh, the other one that I used was the real boxing. I forgot what the name of that one is called. I think is it called real boxing or
You're talking about the one
Fight
with like
Night?
the yellow? No, it's not Fight
Oh,
Night,
the
man.
thrill of the fight. The
uh,
thrill of the fight. It's one of those. I don't know. That one is really good. That one actually has really good. It's a good workout because in general, I feel like boxing is like it's no matter what a full body workout. You have to move around, you have to punch, you have to do all the dodging and stuff. That game actually puts you and works you out, even with the levels. I mean, it goes from beginner to endurance mode, and the beginner gets you started. That endurance mode will kill you. I've I've gotten to the point where I've drenched out my headset, like it's super wet, just because I was just like sweating so much in that headset.
that's fine. I just have to start it up and try it.
You got to have a good play space for it, so make sure you move that TV.
Oh no, I actually kept the box of the TV, and I sometimes will put it in front of it if I feel like I'm gonna be doing some reckless moving.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. At least you learn from it.
Oh, I learned so much. I put
Yeah.
my guardian boundary
Right.
like a good foot away from it, and I put up the sensitivity when I play like those reckless games.
It's
So like
hilarious.
before I even get like a foot close to my boundary, that's a foot away from my TV. That
Hmm.
boundary is just like it's showing me outside that like you're close to your TV, man. Like turn around and back up.
Yeah, because you turned off your boundary that for the climbing, right? Like you didn't mean to do it, but you did it.
No, I left it on. It's just I yanked out of the boundary so fast. Like the sensitivity was still low, but I yanked out of it so fast that it picked up as the TV was falling.
So crazy, so crazy. I'm sure you know what. Honestly, you know you're not the only person.
Oh,
You
I know
know,
I'm not.
there's compilations of people destroying their furniture just by playing
Here's the
VR.
thing. I'm glad it was the TV, being broken rather than me falling or something and hitting my head on something. Because I seen people playing VR. I don't know why people are playing that the walk in the plank game
Why does
if
that
they're
cost
afraid
so
of heights.
much?
I don't know. They play that and I see them fall. I see them fall into like their entertainment console or straight up into the nightstand bed and they're hitting their
It's
heads.
it's funny as hell, and yeah, it's scary. I think though, I feel like I would have that same experience though, because we haven't done it, right?
No,
You've gotten immersed. You've gotten immersed into. You've gotten to a point where you screamed. I know because I've done the same thing in VR, right?
I mean,
Things can freak you out in VR because you feel like you're there. I can only
it's
imagine.
it's worse when you have a pet and you don't know your pet just walked in. I think that's the
When it
other
gets
reason
too
why.
real.
Yeah, that's probably the other reason why I haven't gotten like The Walking Dead or like Half-Life Alex because those quiet moments when there's nothing around and then my pet just brush against my leg. I'm falling. I'm jumping. I'm running.
I mean, I was telling you, I think because you also you suffer from motion sickness
Sometimes
for
I've
VR.
getting I've been getting used to it because I remember we played Arizona
Windlands.
Sunshine.
Oh, was it?
No,
I thought
Windlands,
Windlands
I did
got you,
fine because I was
which is
sitting
interesting.
down. I was sitting down and I was Spider-Man, man. But but no, Arizona Sunshine, it was the stairs. The stairs go
uh,
walking up them. There was the option of turning that off and turning that on.
right.
And the different elevations because you're in the canyon, so there's a lot of like different elevations that's going up
Yeah,
gradually.
yeah,
I couldn't handle that at first. So the first two times playing that, after like an hour in
yeah.
of playing it, I couldn't do it. But once I went up those stairs, I had to sit down immediately. That's why,
We have it on PC.
ooh, do we? Yeah, I think it's on PC.
Oh, I think we slept on that. We should have got the DLC for that.
Oh, what you talking about for the cell?
Yeah, we slept on that.
But yeah,
Um,
I know for this once we went up those stairs, that's why my character was so low because I was sitting down. I was either sitting on the floor or I was just like sitting down in a chair because I couldn't stand anymore.
yeah.
Oh,
So I was telling you about. Excuse me again.
it's funny we're talking about VR and Steam VR has an update right now.
Hey,
Creepy.
uh, when you do eventually play Half-Life Alex, I know one of the big things a lot of people got for motion sickness with that as well because you could choose between smooth walking or teleportation, and I feel like if you're gonna play that game, my personal opinion, smooth walking is the way to go. Just to stay immersed, you can
I mean,
teleport,
walking's fine for me now, and going up and down the stairs is definitely fine for me. I'm used to that part. I can't
but
be in VR for more than 3 hours. I'll tell you that much. That's my limit.
if you do get sick, right? Here's a fun tip, and I know I told you this before. Um, if you have a fan, have that fan sitting where you're starting. So if you're facing forward, have that fan facing you, right? So if you look another way and you don't know where you're at, you can kind of just feel the breeze of the fan, and that's where you're like, okay, I know where I'm at. Another thing is get a small rug, right? And a small rug, stand on top of that and let that be your center point. And if you walk off of it, all right, if I walk back on the rug, I know where I'm at in my room instead of having to rely on the guardian. It does break a bit of your immersion, but it at least kind of takes away from, hey, I don't know where I'm at or I don't know which way I'm facing. You combine those two, and I did that for Half-Life Alex. I put both a fan and a rug. It definitely helped out playing longer sessions because I think I played like 4 hours uh, for one of my sessions of Half-Life, and it was rough. I remember my feet hurt.
Yeah, you
because
gotta
of
get some real
standing.
comfy shoes. I might have to get some Skechers
Yeah.
just to play this.
Yeah. To play something for so long, I definitely agree with that. My feet were hurting, so definitely those two I would say look into doing, especially. And it's not just for the sickness; it's just to kind of just know self-awareness of where you're at in VR, and that's something that a lot of people have issues with because then that's how you end up breaking something um or like I said, you just get sick.
By the way, the DLC for Arizona Sunshine's only together is $650.
Oh, is it? Oh crap!
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
pretty cheap.
okay, cool. Definitely keep that in mind
And if you want
because
to get the deluxe edition, also you'll spend an extra like $3.
we're out here selling, bro. We're out here selling. We're not sponsored. I'll tell you that.
Not at all.
Um,
I wish.
but I think we can wrap this up. Just I think we're hitting an hour and some change, like our kind of our usual schedule. This is kind of
Yeah.
short, but
Yeah, we're actually just hitting a full hour because I decided to time us today.
good. Um, yeah, we definitely want to talk more into VR just because it's just something we do. It's just not our go-to. Just because like lately we've been playing other games.
We enjoyed the Steam sale.
We did. We'll talk about that probably next episode of what we got, and because I kind of want to get into a few of those games, but not to spoil anything. We did get a few games, and so far I'm not mad at my purchases, but I don't know what we'll cover next episode. I think it's just gonna be a general discussion. I kind of don't like planning ahead of time. I kind of just want to just like wing it sometimes because I feel like if we start planning stuff, especially with these podcasts, I feel like we're gonna run out of things to talk about, and then it's just gonna be what is the podcast gonna be really about? But
I mean, we still got, other topics that we could talk about, like, TV shows, movies, my left toenail, my right toenael, like such
all
beautiful
right. So
things.
thank you guys for listening, and okay. I'm sorry you guys had to hear that. That was something special. Um, oh gosh, yeah. I think we'll eventually we're gonna eventually get into our whole paranormal side because they're they uh
UFOs,
declassified
man.
the UFO stuff, and I love me some alien talk, and we'll get there. I think we got to plan that out. I don't know. I don't want to do it every other week show. I kind of want to have it as two separate podcasts, but still be within the Glitchy Ghost universe, I guess,
We'll
that we're
find out
trying to
where I
make.
actually came from.
Where you came from? Yeah, we're trying to figure that out. We're still working on that. It
I
might be
can't even think of
easier.
how the sound goes for like the extraterrestrial stuff.
That's something I want to put into these podcasts too, because you know how people have like
Yeah,
transitions.
that's it. That's it.
Oh gosh. All right. On that note, thank you guys for listening. Please comment, please like, please subscribe. Right now, we're only putting our podcast on YouTube, but we are on Twitter and
Twitter,
Instagram.
Instagram. Soon
Yeah,
have a Discord,
Cody is our
social
social
media.
media expert guy here, so you'll probably be talking to him, but I can also chime in time to time. But yeah, once again, thank you for listening. We'll catch you next week.
Peace.
Okay, I was waiting for that. Bye.